out unless I call on you, Jacob. Gianna, who is this man? Unmute, Gianna. Do you know who this man is? Who did you learn about yesterday in reading? Aiden, who is it? He's an important man in history.
Martin Luther King.
Yes, this is Martin Luther King Jr. And we've been listening to some stories about him. We've been learning that he's an important figure in our history. Why is he important? Trayvon, why is Martin Luther King Jr. important? Put the marker away. Why is he important? What did he do to make a difference, Trayvon? How did he make a difference in the world? Trayvon?
He made a difference in the world by saying that black and white people can go to the same school.
Okay, he said he made a difference because he said that black and white people could go to the same school. Is he the one that was able to make that decision?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He did not make that decision. However, remember we learned Monday that he led peaceful protests and helped get the laws of the United States changed so that there was no more segregation. And when I say segregation, I mean exactly what Trayvon said, that white people and black people were not separated. They were both able to go to the same schools. They were able to use the same restrooms. They were able to sit anywhere they wanted to on the bus, okay? And so Martin Luther King Jr. was a very influential man in getting these laws changed, okay? And Monday was his birthday, so it's a great time to learn more about him. Okay, so today we're going to be reading some stories and learning some more information about Martin Luther King Jr. Miss Sanchez? Okay, so the first thing we're going to read about, and if you can't totally see this, it's okay. It is in your Google Drive. Okay, it is in your Google Drive. So we're going to learn about the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the first part we're going to learn about is when he was a boy. Okay, we're going to learn about when he was a boy. Okay, Martin Luther King was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. Martin grew up with his mother, father, sister, and brother. His father was a pastor and his mother was a teacher. Martin liked to play baseball, football, and basketball. He also liked to ride his bicycle and to sing. At a very young age, Martin learned that not all people were treated fairly. Okay? How do you think he felt about that? Dominic?
Bad.
Bad. Why?
Because he had friends and then they said they can't play with him because he was black. He was black and they were white.
Yeah, if he had friends that were white, he was not allowed to play with them because he was black and they were white. I think that would make me feel sad if somebody was telling me who I could be friends with and who I couldn't. And just because the color of your skin, that definitely would make me sad. Because we're all different, aren't we? We're all different shades. Our skin color is very different. So it's not nice for somebody to tell us what to do. Let's see. When was Martin Luther King Jr. born? Avery? When was he born? Who remembers? It's in the passage. Grayson?
1929.
Okay, January 15th, 1929. Okay. What were some of the things that he liked to do? What were some of the things he liked to do, Evie? He liked to ride his what?
Bicycle.
His bicycle. Raise your hand if you like to ride your bicycle. Okay, remember Miss Rubio taught us if you're making a text-to-self connection, you can show me a connection. I know Miss Stuber likes to ride her bicycle. Well, I don't have one anymore, but when I was young and your age, I used to love riding my bicycle. I liked playing baseball, but not basketball or football. So I am making some text-to-self connections. Are any of you making connections with Martin Luther King as a boy? All right, good job. All right, Miss Sanchez. Now we're going to learn about Martin as a student. Who's a student in this classroom?
All of us.
All of you. You are
Everybody.
all students in the classroom, okay?
Everywhere people.
Yeah, so we're going to learn about Martin as a student. Okay? Martin learned to read at a very young age, before he started school. He was such a good student that he finished high school 2 years early. Wow. At age 15, Martin started going to Morehouse College in Atlanta. He studied to be a minister. And after he graduated from Morehouse College, he continued his education at Boston University, where he earned his doctorate degree. Okay, so tell me a little bit about Martin. What was setting him apart already as he was young? What was something setting him apart?
He got out of college at the age of 15.
He didn't get out of college at 15. What did he graduate from at 15? Does anybody know? Anybody online? Lily, what did he graduate from at the age of 15? What did he graduate? He finished high school at the age of 15. Okay? Normally, when you graduate high school, you're 17 or 18. If you're very young, you're 17, but normally it's about 18 years old. Okay? Brooklyn?
We're all the same in the inside.
That's right. We are the same on the inside, aren't we? Yes. And Martin Luther King knew that, and he wanted to make sure everybody else knew that. What did he go to college for? What did he study at college? Lillian, what did he study at college? Anybody online? Liam, what did he study at college? Liam. Liam. Honey, are you watching TV or are you paying attention to your lesson? Liam? Yes, he went to college to be a minister. What does a minister do? What is the job of a minister? Henley, what does a minister do? You don't know? Does anybody know? Anybody know what a minister does? Lily, what does a minister do? Well, where does he usually work if he's a minister? Usually he works at a church, okay? And he delivers sermons to the people. He's the one in charge at church. He delivers the sermons. He helps people at church. Do you think he had a pretty important job?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that is a pretty important job. Okay? And when he graduated from Morehouse College, he had what we call a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree, college degree, and then he wasn't done. He went on to Boston University and he got his doctorate. Okay, so that's why we call him Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, when you have your doctorate, it's not the same as going to the doctor when you're sick. It just means you have at least 6 or more years of college. Okay, and you get what's called your doctorate, and people call you doctor. Okay, all right, Miss Sanchez, what are we going to learn next? Making his mark. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. became a pastor after college. He began speaking up for equality. Dr. King led a protest so that people of all races could live life together. Not everyone agreed with Dr. King. Many people treated him unfairly, but Dr. King always showed love and peace. That's really important. Love and peace to even those who were being hateful. Okay? It says he began speaking up for equality. What does that mean, equality? Dominic? Gianna, sit up.
To a lot of people. Like he speaked it up.
Because he wanted what? What does that mean? What did he want when we say equality? What did he want? Evie?
He wanted everyone, like, of all colors in the world to be together.
To be together, to be treated fairly, because at that time, blacks and whites were not treated fairly. Okay? White people were given more of a privilege, more of the better things, and he said that's not right, and it's not right. Okay? So he really worked to change that. And he did that by showing people what? What did he show them? Even if they were hateful to him. He was very, what was he? He was kind. The story uses he showed them love, and he was very peaceful. Meaning if somebody's being mean to you, my automatic response is to be mean back to him. But Dr. King did not do that. Okay? He showed them love, and he was very peaceful. He did not fight with people, even though they were being ugly to him. Okay? All right, Ms. Sanchez. All right. His many accomplishments, okay? Because he did many important things. Dr. King continued to lead peaceful protests and marches for freedom. In 1963, Dr. King led the March on Washington. More than 200,000 people marched with him. Do you think that's a lot of people or a little bit?
A lot.
A whole lot. A whole lot. There he made his famous I Have a Dream speech. In 1964, Dr. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The country began to listen to Dr. King's influence. Many things began to change, and people of all races could go to the same schools, parks, stores, and restaurants. Okay, Dr. King was a big deal. Not everybody gets the Nobel Peace Prize.
What's that?
And he was one that won the Nobel Peace Prize. It just means they did outstanding work for the greater good of all mankind, of everybody in the world, okay? He really did some wonderful things. Emma?
If he didn't do that, we would never see the black people.
That's right. If he didn't do that, you wouldn't be sitting here with your friends, whether they're black or white or Asian or anything. You wouldn't be sitting together. So he's a pretty important fella. He's pretty important for all of us. Okay, Miss Sanchez? Leaving a legacy. Okay, Dr. King never stopped working for the people. Because of his hard work, we can live in unity together. Dr. King dreamed of a world without hate and violence. He encouraged he encouraged peace, love, and justice whenever he spoke. We now celebrate the impact he made every year on his birthday. Okay? So he was wonderful. And his contributions made a difference in all of our lives, generations to come. Okay? It made a difference in your grandparents' lives, in your parents' lives, and in your lives. Okay? All right, Miss Sanchez. All right. So, boys and girls, today for homework, you are actually going to reread all about Dr. King. Okay? And when you're done, Miss Stuber put in a vocabulary matchup for you. Miss Sanchez, will you escape out of that that and go to YouTube and pull up his I Have a Dream speech. I think we have a couple minutes. We're a little bit early.
I have a dream.
Hold on, Miss Sanchez is going to pull it up. It's a very famous speech, one of his most famous speeches. And I want you to hear what he sounded like. Please put that away, Jacob. Do we need
I
to
have the pleasure to present to
make it big? Let's listen to his
you
speech for a few minutes.
Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
See how many people were there? This is live.
50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day, right?
Okay, I just wanted you to see part of that, and I wanted you to know he seems like a pretty impressive man, doesn't he? Like, you definitely pay attention when he speaks to you, don't you? Give me a thumbs up if you were paying attention. And he had some powerful words, especially back during that time. So he's a pretty amazing man.
Because he didn't fight if they didn't love him.
Yeah, if they didn't like him, that was okay with him, but he wasn't going to be ugly to them. Okay, he was not going to be ugly no matter what. Okay, make sure you're muted, Elise. Curtis. Okay, does anyone have any questions about Dr. King or the assignment in reading today? Do you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions online? Emma?
Do you have to drag those words?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a drag and drop. So you've got your definitions. Definitions here, you've got your words. Just like before, you're going to click on it and drag it over to its matching definition. Okay, we've done these before. You've got directions, okay? Would anybody like for me to put a link to the I Have a Dream speech?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to watch that later, I'll put a link and you can watch that tonight. Elise?
This is being nice to others when they be mean to you in the Bible.
I'm not sure. You can
I'm
ask.
sure it is.
Yeah, I think they say something about being kind to others. I don't know. You could ask Mom. Okay. Before I let Miss Sanchez take over for math, why don't we try the phonics dance real quick? Give you a little break. Everybody stand up.